And we're doing it.
How's the week been, friend?
Good. Cheers.
Sorry. Cheers.
The week's been cool, man. Work's been chill. Hanging out with the baby and the wife has been chill.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's it's been interesting at work. We don't have enough materials that we need of certain types of things, and we have way too many of things that we don't need.
Yeah. That's often the case, isn't it?
I mean, not on the jobs that I've seen. There's
Okay.
usually issues with materials, but this is like, we got these pipes and pipe joining materials from Germany coming. They're called Brug pipes. They have built-in leak detection systems, so they have wires running along this insulated part around the pipe. So imagine it's the pipe, and then a layer of foam, probably like 1.5 inches, 2 inches thick, and
What-
there's wires running in that foam
What's the foam for?
to insulate the pipe.
Okay.
So it can stay hot if it's hot or stay cold if it's cold.
Is it the same kind of foam that like fiberglass? So that's not really foam, but
I think it looks similar.
Yeah.
It could kind of look similar, but it's not fiberglass.
Okay.
Fiberglass is, yeah, you don't want to work with that shit because it'll get splinters in your hand and stuff, and the little fibers. But so yeah, we have to we have to work with a welder with this pipe because it's carbon steel piping, I think, and they use stick welder, arc welding. We could find a video about it, just with like showing what it is.
Mhm.
You like essentially create a circuit, like you put a negative terminal on the end of the pipe, and then you have the positive terminal in your hand, and there's this stick that you hold with it's like an alligator clip, so you squeeze it opens up, you let it go, it closes, and the stick has some chemicals in it, some metal in it, some flux, and some stuff to help with the welding. And when you touch the end of the stick to the pipe, it creates an arc, like a spark essentially, and it melts the metal, and then you go around and it deposits some metal and fuses the pipes together. It makes them one piece of metal essentially. So a lot of what we're doing is like standing around waiting for the welder to do stuff, which is kind of cool. It's fine, you get paid to stand around and bullshit. But if you have to help the welder, then that's a huge pain in the ass because you have to like
Hold things while he welds?
No. that would be something. You have to adjust the amperage of the machine that he's using. And so he'll be like, 35, and then you have to go to 35, and he'll be like, up, and you got to go up 5, down, you got to go down 5. And then he also needs you to hand him the different types of rods, like the sticks that he's using to weld, because different ones are for different things, for different situations. And I was supposed to be doing that on Thursday, and like the foreman was like, this is this one, this is this one, this is this one, this is this one. I was like, oh fuck, I'm not gonna remember that. Like,
Well, why don't you write this on a bullet list or something?
there was no time.
No? Oh, shit.
Like, the thing is, they all have numbers on them, and there's different colors and different diameters, so I could identify them based on that.
Mm-hmm.
But he was like, give me a bead welder, and I was like, I don't know which one that is. So the foreman was just like, I'm gonna do it. And so he was helping the welder, which I was like, fuck, thank you so much, because I was so nervous about doing it, because I don't know, I'm not a welder, like, I haven't, and I'd never done this kind of job before.
And when you don't have the material you need and you have too much of the rest, whatever you need, do you go buy it in a pinch at like Home Depot or something?
It can, yeah, sometimes that happens. But this pipe Home Depot doesn't sell anything like this.
Because it's very specific?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very specific. It's big pipe, and it's got this leak detection system, and it's made in Germany.
So in this case, you didn't order enough because you thought you would have enough?
No. Somebody fucked up. Either the company fucked up or the person who ordered it fucked up.
Okay.
Yeah. And one of the last pieces of the material that we needed, it's like this, big sheet of black. Imagine it's like plasticky rubber. So it's like a long sheet of rubber, a big rectangle. and it's got some adhesive on one side. And so you have to peel back this coating, this plastic coating, in order to expose the adhesive, and then you put it on the pipe and you wrap the pipe with this
Okay.
black rectangle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. I I took the plastic off of one, and then part of the black rubbery stuff got stuck to itself, and it was just like,
Yeah.
there's no way it's coming up.
And it's very sticky, right?
Very sticky. Like, I felt so bad because I was like, this is the last piece, and now we can't, or the second to last piece, and now we can't use it.
Could you cut that piece and still do with the rest?
No, it's completely fucked.
Oh,
if you let it
shit.
touch itself, I was
Yeah.
like, I hadn't done that to any of them. And then this, of course, happened when it was the second to last one.
Yeah.
So then we can only do one more shrink, as we call it, because we wrap this black rectangle around. It's called mastic. And then there's these other two strips of black rubbery material that you wrap around, and then you slide this big collar, we call it. It's a big sort of more, it's a harder rubber, and it's a big heat shrink. You know what heat shrinking is? Sometimes with wires, let's say you connect two wires, then you slide this thing over the connection, you hit it with a heat gun,
Mhm.
and it shrinks down. And
Okay.
it just, yeah, it protects the joint.
What is it made of? That little thing in the middle.
Some sort of, it feels rubbery. It's some sort of heat reactive compound. I don't know
Okay.
exactly what it is, but that's what this is. But it's on a huge scale, like it's, 8-inch pipe, and then with the foam, so it's like 10 inches around or something, and you have to use what's called a tiger torch, like a propane torch with this big ass flame on the end. Like it's pretty cool, but it gets really hot doing that. It gets really hot. But yeah, it's not a bad pipe joining method. There's a lot of steps. Like you have to use this machine. It's called a Megger machine. It's testing continuity. It's just like a voltmeter, basically. It tests resistance and then voltage and continuity of circuits. And so you have to test each length of it to make sure there's no water already in the foam, like make sure there's no short connecting the wires to the pipe.
Okay.
And that's how you detect leaks, is some machine at the end of the line is testing the continuity of the circuit, and then if there is continuity, that means that the wires are touching the pipe somehow. Probably water is what's conducting electricity.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, you have to test to see if there's no water in there, and then you have to test to make sure there's a certain right amount of resistance in the circuit based on the length of the section that you're testing. It's I don't know, it's interesting because you have to test that shit, and you have to clean the wires, and you have to attach the wires, then test the circuit again, and then it's just a lot of stuff that goes into it, and it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. I like doing it. It's
Nice.
fun. And they're big pipes, so we can't move them by hand. So we have to have like these big machines, whether it's an excavator or a telehandler. We can look up some of the stuff just to get like pictures of things. Oh yeah, forgot about that.
What is it?
Telehandler, TE handler. Yeah. It's a big 4-wheel drive thing that has, forklift forks on the front. And
Oh,
it has
yeah.
that articulating boom. And so there's usually a spot that has like a hole on the bottom of the fork area. I don't know what it's called, but you can hook a shackle up to it, and then some slings, which is called rigging. It's just these really strong woven pieces of fabric that you can wrap around pipes, and then the arm lifts them up. And for some of the sections, it's like a big right angle, but it's like 80 feet on one side and then 40 feet on the other side. So then you have to get two of these machines to like pick it up and put it in the ditch that we're putting in it. Like, it's pretty cool watching this stuff happen. I really want to get trained on one of these.
So this one will put on the ground, you said, in the ditch.
Sorry?
So those big ones, those big tubes, those big pipes,
Mhm.
were being put on the ground,
In the ground, yeah.
in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Call it district energy work. It's the foreman said it's not actually plumbing technically. It's called pipelining, and that's like a different trade, different profession. Actually, the guy who bought my motorcycle is a pipeliner.
You sold your motorcycle?
Yeah, yeah. A long time ago.
Oh, okay. Oh, didn't remember.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's been cool. Like, yeah, the other day when I wasn't doing much, I got some reading done at work. Like, I've been reading books. So.
Related to work or just your
No.
own?
No. I read one about, it's called acquisition entrepreneurship. It's where you buy businesses and build them and then sell them.
Uh-huh.
Or just build them and keep them. So, I'm, reading about that. Now I'm reading a book about business development, like how to grow companies, different strategies to do that. I met this guy through the BIPOC Foundation who does that. And he's been like helping my dad and I kind of learn about it and see if it's something that we could do. Because, I think that would be a lot of fun. I would like to buy a construction company, like a plumbing company or drywall company or electrician company, rebar, like anything in the construction business.
And what do you want to do with it? Grow it or resell it or?
Yeah, both. Run it, grow it, and then theoretically someday resell it. Or just keep it.
Yeah.
Just like, just try and do that. I think it would be fun to try and lead a business in their strategy and like expanding their market reach and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a lot to learn. There's definitely a lot to learn.
There always is. Yeah.
So how about you? How about your week? What'd you do?
Classes started. For me, it was pretty average. Beginning of the week, beginning of the semester. Yeah. Taught a bit, met some students for recommendation letters. Yeah, I had a couple of these. I think
previous students, I guess.
Yeah, from last and other semesters. I met 3 like in one day, and 2 of them. So I asked them like, oh, what's like introduce yourself, because I want to test their level of English, because graduate programs ask me the ability to write and read and write or talk and write in English, and I usually cannot tell because they don't speak a lot in my course. And so introduce yourself. What are your hobbies and stuff? And both of them said they like manga and anime. I was like, yeah. What do you read? What do you watch? And they started dropping names. Like, yeah, I know these guys. Yeah, like literally, like last semester during the break, I was reading the manga. I was like on my phone. I was reading those exact manga. I was like, oh really? I was like, yeah, yeah. No, that was funny. But otherwise, trained, skated a bit. On Monday, I got some new tricks.
You said you landed a hard flip? No.
Pressure flip?
Pressure flip.
Yeah, I have one video, but the pressure flip is not obvious on it, so I haven't sent it yet to my friends. I want to get a clean one first.
Yeah.
But
American style. American style.
Oh yeah, this guy is a perfectionist. Actually, that's very true. That's a big difference. It's very rare to see an American like land sketchy but stylish. It's a very European thing.
Yeah.
It's way more European. It still counts and everything. It's just Americans are like square, feet on the bolts, and knees perfectly flexed, like boom, 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 and right off into the sunset. Which is fantastic. When these guys jump over 20 stairs doing that, you're like, what? And you land clean on top of this? It's like, whoo.
Yeah, and it's like, how many times do they do it and not land clean?
Well, when it comes to 20 stairs, they usually don't have that many tries in the tank, because they just bust their, could be knees, feet, heels, every other try.
Yeah, man, it's hard on the body.
Yeah, so that's the thing about when they go to 20 stairs, they cannot afford to be afraid. You know how sometimes when you want to jump over stuff, you start jumping, and then, I don't know, halfway you think, oh, you're not going fast enough or something, so you kick the board out. Yeah,
Yeah, down 20 stairs.
yeah, they
That's a
can do that.
dangerous game.
They could do that maybe twice on 20 stairs, but that's it. The other ones are like, okay, now it's do or die.
Yeah.
Literally do or die. Yeah, so I recorded other tricks as well, which I've been wanting to record in a long time, so for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, does that, and then training the rest of the week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai,
Yeah, Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, and Nogi.
Nogi.
Nogi Jiu-Jitsu, yeah.
Jesus, man, you're all over it.
Trying to get into it. Well, there's not much to do at my home anyway. So, might as well spend my time
Out
at the
and
gym
about.
instead of... I do play my video games when I come back, but...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wish that I'd gotten into jiu-jitsu back when I had more time. Like, towards the end of the PhD, when I was like, okay, I'm doing research, I'm making progress, but also I can pretty much do whatever the fuck I want during the day.
Well, it would have been fun since year 2 of the PhD.
Yeah.
Because in second year, we were playing soccer on the Friday. Like, we could have worked out every other day if we wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
We were just like one class a semester or something for another year. Remember? We just had like 2 or 3 extra classes to take after the comms.
Yeah.
Which they were not like a big deal at this stage.
No. I mean, yeah.
It was pretty chill.
It was completely different than the core courses in the
Yeah.
first year.
Yeah.
That was like,
Yeah.
fucking do or die, man.
Yeah. So, I agree. I would have loved to have that earlier. But better late than never.
Better late than never. Yeah. Yeah, I had fun today, but I definitely fucking tweaked my back somehow.
How?
I think doing that judo shit.
Yeah, no, the if you want to do judo stuff, you gotta warm up.
Yeah.
Like it's
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I mean, for jiu-jitsu as well, I guess. But for judo, definitely you have to do a couple of break falls, get the body into you gotta break your back in.
Mm-hmm.
Just like okay, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And since it's a bit more explosive, you just want to go in one throw. You
Yeah.
gotta be like fast, otherwise they see it coming, they base, or they just don't budge.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta go fast, but if you're not used to it, yeah, you twist your your upper body or something. You're like, oh, that was a bit too much.
Yeah. That's the thing is I never feel it at the time. In class. But
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
go home, take a shower, and then you start walking around. It's like, oh, fuck.
I had that with whatever neck crank. Whenever I'm tapping on not a choke but a crank,
Mm-hmm.
I feel the crank, I tap, but on the moment my neck is like it's fine. It's just like, oh well, he was cranky.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go to bed, the next day you wake up, it's like you're like, oh yeah, that was that neck crank that I didn't tap early enough on because of fucking ego.
I was just gonna say your ego fucks you, and you're like, no, you're not gonna get me.
It
You're
is.
not gonna fucking
But
get me."
now I don't care anymore. I'm like, yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
That wasn't a clean choke, but yeah, I tapped. They got my neck in the first place. That was my bad.
Mm-hmm.
I look at it this way now.
Mm-hmm.
If they get my neck,
Yeah.
that's my fault.
I think did you submit me once? I think you might have, like with the triangle.
Oh
I think
yeah,
so.
I got a triangle.
Yeah. I got submitted there, and then Greg got me in an arm bar, I think. Or no, maybe it was a triangle as well. Cause I don't know, maybe I escaped the arm bar. Anyway,
Yeah.
it was cool. I didn't get choked as much as I have in the past.
Yeah.
Which was good. Cause
Yeah.
my neck was fucked up like 2 weeks ago. But yeah, that was not my best performance that day.
Well, there are days on and days off.
Mm.
You can match. Sometimes you just end up with someone who's that's their day.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just destroying everything, and they might be lower ranked. They're like, fuck, everything is smooth, they don't get caught, and you are more sloppy than usual. Like, fuck, everything's hard.
Mm-hmm.
So in those cases, you're like, okay, it seems that today is a day off for me. It's like, okay, I'm just gonna survive.
Yeah.
I won't take too much risks, because I feel, yeah.
Yeah.
And other days, you're the one which is on the roll, and you just go over, like literally,
Yeah.
you're on a roll,
Yeah.
and you go over everybody. But
Yeah, I've had those days. Those days are fun, but now I feel like I'm thinking more while I'm rolling.
Yeah.
So I don't know, it feels less fluid, but I think it's good because I was able today a couple times to like, okay, I'm in a position, I'm not dying, let me just chill out. Just like
Yeah,
calm down.
exactly. Know when you can take a breather and think about your next move, and
Mm-hmm.
know when it's time for you to get out or to be careful about, I don't know, a dangling arm or
Mm-hmm.
your base or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I need to know more submissions. Well, no, I really need to work on position before submission.
Yeah.
Like getting from one position to another.
Yeah.
But
Because
also,
what you need to do is get to the back.
yeah.
You work your way through the back, and once you're at the back, well, you know how to choke someone from the back, so
Yeah.
just get to the back.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Oh man. What's his name again? The Korean guy?
Ajin.
Ajin. Why do I want to say Hayan? Is there another guy named Hayan or something? No. Ajin. Yeah, he got my back today. I was like, fuck, nice job. Nice job.
Yeah.
But
That happens.
I didn't get choked, so that was good.
Yeah.
I really want to go to Nogi tomorrow. I'm gonna have to convince April somehow.
Oh, in the evening.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's 3 times a week.
Really?
It's 3 times a week and the open mat. So if you want, you can squeeze that in.
Mm-hmm.
Every time it's from 8 to 9 though. So
Oh no.
yeah, that can be hard, but
That's no good for me. Unfortunately, I gotta be like in bed by 8. So.
well, Friday is a day off for everybody. Don't you have the day off?
What do
It's
you mean?
a Truth and Reconciliation Day.
They were saying something about that. I think we can have the day off, or we can work.
Oh.
That day.
What you gonna do?
I don't really want to work that day. I don't have to, and I can
So-
go to jiu-jitsu.
Thursday in the evening you can have a full training. You can
Yeah.
even do Muay Thai as well with me.
Yeah.
Why don't we do both?
Is that open mat or
No, it's two
2 classes?
Yeah, 2 classes.
I don't think I'm gonna be able to pull 2 classes.
Why?
Because that's just time away from home. What time are the classes though?
Starts at 6:15 until 7:30 and 7:30 to 9.
I could do 7:30 to 9. 'Cause
Yeah.
And I will be asleep by then.
Yeah,
Is that
for
no
instance.
gi?
No, it's gi.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I like rolling with the gi. No gi is just, it's a different beast. It's so
We can be more sloppy in without the gi.
yeah.
That's what I like about it. Yeah. I think the art is important to know, so the gi is important, but
Mm-hmm.
with no gi, you get slippery. If you have a bit of cardio, you can get around maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel to me it's more comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah.
The grips as well. My hands are just I don't have good grips.
Yeah.
I'm working on them, but it's just yeah. No, I
Mm.
don't use them enough. I'm trying to,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't have a lot of strength in my grips either.
Well, I'm just thinking about Mike's fingers.
Yep.
Like they're
Yep.
so strong, but they're so fucked up. Like,
Yeah.
you think he's just broken them over and over again or something?
No, it's well, it could be sprained because I'm starting to have this one. I'm trying to have it with this one,
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, that's.
but this one will never go back. It's like literally bone here. I don't know how that changed, but that I checked. It's not a bruise or it's not like scar. I don't know. I don't think it's scar tissue or anything. It's just
Yeah.
So and he has that, but he has that on these parts, which I don't know how you get this kind of swollen stuff on the on the upper part of the finger. That's another beast. We'll see in 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll see in 10 years.
Hopefully my hands don't end up looking like that.
Yeah. You can do nogi for that.
What do you mean?
Well, nogi you don't have to grip.
Yeah.
It's only cupping, so you
Yeah.
don't fingers on their own are not.
Yeah.
You're not going to hurt your knuckles.
Yeah.
This is coming from holding the gi and people stripping the gi off, and you're like
Yeah,
sometimes you just
yeah.
want to keep it because you need it, and it's like start spraining the fingers and
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's no bueno.
Yeah.
No bueno.
many guys put tape around all of their fingers.
All of them.
Like even if the fingers look fine, they're like here. Like what I have with one finger, they have it on all.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh man.
The big black belts in tournaments, you can see they have this on all their hands.
Mm-hmm.
Not usually, but many of them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh man.
Yeah.
It's so hard to get better at jiu-jitsu, I feel like, for me. Especially since I don't do it as much as I
That's
want
because you
to.
don't do it as much.
Yeah.
It's demanding.
Yeah, I wish I could go during the week, but I get home from work and I'm just like, fuck. Like I gotta, there's all kinds of side hustle shit that I gotta do all the time, and then I gotta
But you
make
choose your
time.
side hustles.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Hey.
voluntary, but it takes time,
Yeah, yeah.
It takes time. Just like jujitsu. Like when I'm at jujitsu, I can't be working on something else or hanging out with an eye. So it's tough to balance. It's tough to balance, but I'd say I'm doing a pretty good job of it. Like I do get to do jujitsu usually once a week. I get to work on the side hustle shit, and I get to spend time with my wife and daughter. So
Yeah. Seems you've reached a good balance.
I think so. I'm just waiting for something to start getting out of hand, though. Like if if like this golden checkers thing takes off, the safaris and party tours,
Mm-hmm.
like if that starts to become more demanding, I don't know what I'm gonna do, because I have a feeling it'll become demanding before it's making serious money. And then I'm gonna have a choice to make. Is like, do I want to put a lot more energy into this, or I don't know, because if we're not making enough money to hire someone to do all the things that I need to do, then I don't know what'll happen.
Well, wait until it happens.
Yeah,
I don't think there's a point in I don't think there's a point in worrying about something that hasn't happened yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's unnecessary clutter in your brain.
Yes, sir. Yeah, just deal with it once it's an issue. Who knows? Maybe it never will take off, and I'll just be like, fuck this.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. It's cool though. I like that I have a bunch of different things that I'm working on. Like it helps me not get burnt out on any one thing.
Yeah.
And like
I agree.
some of it's creative, like doing this. This is
In general,
lot of
doing
fun.
stuff, I think, is important.
yeah.
I understand that everybody needs their time off on watching, I don't know, videos somewhere or TV or whatever, sure, but shouldn't spend too much time doing that. And when you can, it's like, okay, let's do something
Yeah.
to, I don't know, good for the brain, good for the body, good for both.
Yeah. It's fun to be creative. Like my buddy Steve and I were writing that movie, and it's so much fun doing that.
Yeah.
Like we just talk shit and make up stuff. We've got this whole universe that we're creating, it's pretty cool. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Because I love universe building, and like sci-fi and fantasy. It's so cool to me when an author will, I don't know, bring up some really small part of the story, but it implies that there's some big complex of things happening in this universe that they just mention in a little way, but then it makes you think like, oh shit, like there's all this behind there that they could develop if they wanted to.
I like when when they talk about those changes, I like to see later on, maybe during the movie or the book or whatever, that the changes had an impact somewhere else. Because sometimes I'm sure that some of those things might be like a setup, as in like, oh yeah, we're gonna just leave that issue open in case we have enough success, or in case I think of something, But I like when it goes full circle, when you realize the consequence, when you're exposed to the consequences, when you're shown the consequences of that little action, as you said. I think some authors are just very good at keeping the whole universe coherent. And they say, yeah, well, since this thing is supposed to happen at the same time as this thing, but maybe those two events happen in very different situations, and people in one situation have no way to know about the other situation. Then when they learn about when they learn about what happened,
I'm so confused.
think about two events that happen at the same time, let's say in a book, but they just happen in a very different location. And protagonist, whatever, people involved in each of these situations have no way to know what happened in the other
Mm-hmm.
situation, because they happen at the same time. Maybe they have no way to
Mhm.
communicate.
But they do have an impact on each other.
It's that's the thing.
Yeah.
So maybe when one situation is resolved, then at some point they get to learn about what else happened,
Mhm.
what happened in the rest of the universe, and then they're like, oh, and that's gonna bring them to the next maybe adventure
Mhm.
or to the next destination, or
Mhm.
and
You try and maybe pull this farther away.
I'm always
They're
very
all-
impressed when authors manage to keep all of those things consistent and don't make any mistakes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's always so frustrating when you read something that doesn't make sense. And it's like, wait. But they just said X, and now they're saying Y?
yeah.
Well, which is it, X or Y? And it just takes you completely out of them.
Or later in the movie or in the book, they tell you about a potential way to solve the problem, like
Mhm.
to solve another problem, but that solution could have worked as well to solve the previous problem. And you're like, why didn't they use this in at the beginning of the movie?
It's like,
Oh, because the movie would last 20 minutes. That's why. There wouldn't be a bad guy. The bad guy would be...
it's like, you ever watch the Power Rangers?
Yeah?
It's like they get in a fight with all the putty monsters,
hmm
the lackey ninjas, where they kick them in the chest and then they disappear.
Yep.
And then there's a big monster that comes, and then they form
The Megazord.
the Megazord,
Mhm.
and then they fight with the sword, and they smash a building or two, go down, and then it's like they're gonna lose, and the other monsters destroying that, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh my god, we gotta build the big gun. So they build the big gun, and then they shoot the monster. It's like, why didn't you motherfuckers just build the Megazord, shoot all the putties, and then shoot the other monster?
It's true. They never mentioned that there is a cost or there's a risk in using the Megazord, so that they don't want to use it, ideally.
Yeah,
Power
like-
Rangers in particular is a huge fraud,
Yeah.
because all the scenes with the Power Rangers,
Mm-hmm.
this is the actors from Japan.
Yeah.
Only the scenes with the Americans in the cafeteria in high school, whatever the fuck,
Yeah.
is like so literally they just. I don't think they stole the footage. I think they just kept it, and they just put some scenes with like white people and whatever Americans doing their spiel and pretending that this guy is supposed to be the red Power Ranger. This one is the white. This one is the white one. This one
Uh-huh.
is the yellow one.
This one's the pink one, this one's the black one, and of course the black guy was the Black Ranger.
Is it what it was? Is it what it was? But wasn't he one of the strongest?
They were all, I feel like they all had their strengths and weaknesses.
Because I think there was a point where the black Power Ranger only would show up later in the let's say later in the adventure or something, later in the plot. Because
I don't
Power
know.
Rangers, they had like, I don't know, maybe 20 seasons. Oh yeah, man. The first Power Rangers, maybe like the colors represent, I don't know, but I know they had at some point colors for ninjas. So it was Power Ranger, I don't know, like Ninja Storm or something. One where each Power Ranger was a dinosaur, like a representing a dinosaur. And they had a bunch of different themes. Every
Yeah.
time the same colors.
different iterations.
Yeah, yellow, pink, red, blue, and there would be a black or a brown or one of these guys. But I think,
Brown power.
yeah, I think there was. I think there was.
I don't think there was a brown one.
You can check, man. Not in every season, but I think there was at some point.
Was it a brown guy?
That I'm not sure. There was a white Power Ranger every now and then, but these guys, those colors, the black, the white, or the brown, I remember them showing a bit later in the game, in the plot,
Mm-hmm.
like maybe to complete the team or something.
I don't remember.
Not that it matters, but yeah, I mean it's easy way
It's
for
gonna make a lot of noise.
easy way to make money.
Yeah, man, that's got to be such a valuable franchise. That's the thing is, Power Rangers for me is kind of weird because I remember loving Power Rangers at a certain age, and eventually it was like right at the end of kind of like the age of interest for Power Rangers, I guess, for kids. And then it was the same show and everything, but I started looking at it. I was like, this is so fucking stupid. Like, this
Yeah.
is for kids.
Yeah.
This is for little kids. I'm not a little kid anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I like loved Power Rangers, and then I hated Power Rangers. Now I don't hate it, but
A movie came out recently.
Power Rangers.
Yeah, like 2 or 3 years ago.
Really? They're still making those things?
Well, movie, like so with CGI and maybe with an actual plot. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, they were teenagers getting the powers, so I was like, okay, they're 17. I don't care. At 17, they cannot be like all adults, like super responsible and save the world. I was like, Put him at 20, 25, I don't know.
Yeah.
Make it more believable.
More believable.
It's a hard thing I have with to me it's hard to deal with some manga as well. Where I understand why the main protagonist should not be an adult yet. Sure. Because it's addressed to a specific audience. But at the same time, when it's like the 14 years old kid who's saving the earth, it's like
Yeah. That's always weird when it's like super young. That's the thing is in oh.
I think is your vapor. We just lost focus from that.
Shit. Nope, didn't work. Fuck.
We can take a break and clean it off anyway.
Break time?
Let's do that. See you soon.